Welcome to another world shifting edition of the Global Leaders Roundtable podcast. I am super excited that you are here with me and for our next discussion that we are about to embark upon. Listen, for those of you who are new to this channel, thank you so very much for being a part and for joining us here at TGLR Network. It has been an amazing ride thus far this season since we have started this new season of episodes. This is the place where kingdom voices rise, leaders converge, and legacy is awakened. And I am your host, Kenyon R. Dudley, speaker, global leadership strategist, and visionary behind this growing and global platform where purpose meets power and obedience meets opportunity. For those of you who are just getting an opportunity to know me, um, I am in the marketplace sector. I'm also in the ministry sector as well, in many different ways. I wear multiple hats, but my calling is sure and it is singular. It is to say something that will transform someone's life, their thinking, and to point them back to God because in God they can find their purpose. This space right here on the TGLR network is for conversations that carry weight. It awakens destiny and it reminds us that all leadership is generational, not just positional. All right. If you are watching live right now, go ahead and hit the like button, tag a leader of purpose, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at TGLR Network so you do not miss a beat of what we are cooking up here on this particular channel. Listen, we're going to get ready to dive into a great conversation. But before we do that, I do want to make sure that you are put on notice. If you don't already know, we are gearing up for our Kingdom Global Leaders Virtual Summit. Listen, we're going to be talking about global kingdom leadership from multiple aspects. We have folks from all over the world that are literally coming as leaders to share their great big idea, their leadership journey, strategies for you to be successful in the thing that God has called you to be successful in. We've got folks from the tech world, from the finance world. We've got individuals from ministry. We've got folks who are entrepreneurs and individuals who are in the healthcare space all over. They're literally coming from the South Africa. They're coming from the UK. They're coming from Australia. They're coming from Canada. We're going to converge in one place on our virtual summit. And we're going to have not just a good time, but it's going to be an impactful time. Make sure you go and get your tickets for this 2-day event, September the 20th through the 21st, bit.ly/TGLR virtual summit now. Go ahead and grab your tickets today so that you can be a part of something that's truly history making. But it's also going to be revelatory, impactful, and I believe that it's going to set you up for greatness. All right. Are you ready for this conversation that we're getting ready to have? I literally have a beautiful spirit, a beautiful soul that is going to come and have a bold conversation with me today. Today's guest is a radiant example. I've been researching what she's doing. She's a radiant example of leadership rooted in love, vision, and commitment to homeland transformation. And listen, guys, Agatha Georgestone is a leader whose passion is to uplift women and to serve her community and to build bridges between healing and lasting impact. Her work is focused on empowering women spiritually and emotionally and even economically, particularly in the place that raised her. Her life is a testimony of bold obedience, cultural pride, and generational vision. She believes that women are not just meant to survive hardship, but to rise, to lead and rewrite what legacy looks like, both at home and abroad. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome a new friend of mine, the empowering and visionary Agatha Georgestone. Miss Georgestone, how are you?
Hello, I'm very well. I'm very well. Thanks for having me on here today.
Yes, I'm super excited that you said yes, as I stated before. I know that we have a time zone difference, a significant one. And so you found some time, and we were able to sit together today to have this discussion. Now, for those of you who want to know exactly what we're going to be talking about, is that right down at the bottom of the screen, empowered to uplift. Empowered to uplift. That's what we're going to be talking about with Agatha today. Agatha, why don't you formally introduce yourself to our listeners and our viewers? What part of the world are you in, and what is it that God has you doing right now?
Okay, thank you so much for this introduction. My name is Agatha Georgestone. I am an author, a mental health advocate, public speaker, and the founder of the Brave Horizon. So my journey started way back in my early years, and I'm at a point in my life where I have dedicated my life to helping other women to
Yeah.
empower them. What I have with me is a movement. I have a movement to transform women's life,
Mm,
women who've gone through trauma, for them to regain their life through faith, through resilience, and for them to walk in a straight path of faith and hope and love.
yeah. Yeah. I can tell that you really are passionate about this and you know it. It's not just something you're doing, but this comes from a authentic place. What part of the world are you in? Because I know you stated to me you're from Sierra Leone, but you're
Yes,
currently where?
I'm currently in the UK.
Okay, so you're currently in the UK and you're doing this work, helping women heal, helping women transform, and helping women lead out in their industries. How did you get to this point? What happened in your life that was that turning point for you?
Okay, so it began with a silence that shaped my entire life.
Okay,
I was born in a beautiful but broken reality.
yeah,
Sierra Leone is a country of rich culture,
yeah,
very strong people, and untold stories. But it has also been a place where trauma has lived in our bones.
mm,
I lost my father during the Civil War,
wow,
and my mother, unable to cope with the grief, she slowly sank into mental health illness.
wow,
And as a young girl, I didn't fully understand what was happening at the time, but I felt I felt the pain deeply.
right,
I felt the absence of my mother and my father, and the weight of the responsibilities I had to carry then, it was too heavy for me.
mm,
And I was so desperate for safety, for structure, the structure that I once knew,
hmm,
for love. And I was displaced with my entire family from my home.
wow,
Separated, I was separated at one point from my mother. She
okay,
was in one country, and my siblings and I were in another country. And after when we reunited, I sat there and watched my mother, her spirit disappear. It was like I was looking at a different person.
okay,
And I looked around me, I saw other women struggling. I saw these women struggling, trying to keep their families together, and I remember saying to myself, I was thinking to myself for the longest time, it has been in my head, in my thoughts, that if I ever survive the turbulence that I was going through, I would not be silent.
yes,
So that seed didn't grow overnight. It didn't happen immediately.
right, of
For
course,
years and years, I tried to outrun my past. I was, battling with the facts of what has happened to me. I buried my pain. I was performing really hard. I thought
Yeah.
that would save me, that would make things different for me.
Mm-hmm.
I was under pressure, on the relationship, on the busyness. I just wrapped myself in all those things, thinking that they would save me. Those were my saving grace, but it followed me everywhere. It never go away. It was like a second skin. And so one day I thought to myself, instead of running away from what's happening to me, why not turn this around and, help other women? Because I
Mm-hmm.
saw women struggling. And that's where this came from. And that's where my passion started off.
Yeah. It's so many women, um, even in the work that I've done in ministry and mental health as well. So we kind of synergize there, because part of my leadership journey was in healthcare here in the States. And
Right.
it's just so many women that I've seen from my own personal family and even while working in healthcare that are dealing with unimaginable things,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
misogyny and genderism, and not just genderism, but even colorism and all of these different
Absolutely.
things that women have had to carry the weight of for generations. And which is
Mm-hmm.
one of the reasons why I've tried to be an advocate myself, to stand alongside leaders, women leaders like
Mm.
you, to help, because I know even lending a male's voice in times will put more, fuel more passion and fire into helping women.
Mm-hmm.
Have you received, and I know this is an interesting question, but have you received the support necessary from institutions and even male leadership? Have you received that necessary support to do the work that God has called you to do? And I'm asking for a reason, but I'll let you answer.
Well, you see, this is something I found very disturbing
Okay.
because I had the hope that with my intentions of helping other women based off
Hmm.
my lived experience, it would have been a lot more easier.
Okay.
But I've faced so many stumble blocks along the way.
Yeah.
I've faced rejection. It's almost like not believing in my vision of what I want to do.
Hmm.
And it get me thinking sometimes. Sometimes it's very disheartening because I have the fire in my belly, I have the passion, but I
Right.
cannot do it on my own. I cannot do it
True.
alone. I need the support,
Hmm.
and that's where I'm struggling. I'm finding it extremely hard.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so many women leaders, especially, are in between that tension of, God, I know what you've called me to do. I'm clear on the vision. I've even put my hand to the plow and I'm out here
Mm,
and I'm working this thing. But it can become very disheartening when you're so passionate about a thing. It's
mm-hmm.
very near and dear to you because you've gone through these things, and you
Absolutely.
want to see change and you want to see
That's it.
transformation, but then you get into a place where warfare happens and people won't open
Exactly.
doors and people won't support just because you're a woman leader. How
Mm-hmm.
have you been um, working around this up until this point? Because, and the reason I ask these questions is because there are women leaders right now listening in,
Mm-hmm.
and I do understand it's not lost on me that
Yeah.
males in leadership are having a totally different experience than women in leadership,
Absolutely.
you know?
Absolutely.
And so that's why I'm talking about
So
this.
I'm in a network of very powerful faith based women,
Hmm.
and we all sing the same song.
Hmm.
And I have a handful of men that I speak to on a regular basis,
Hmm.
and their experience is completely different from mine and my
Hmm.
female friends. So
Hmm.
colleagues, and I'm thinking to myself, so what else do we need to do? How
Yeah.
can we, because we need to honor our story and we need to help women rise. But how can we do this if we are not getting the support and we're
Yeah.
expected to do it alone?
Yeah. Yeah, I think for me, even just a answer or a response to that question is, I've learned that as a man and having a mother, I've watched her go through abuse and watched
Mm,
her struggle as a single mother, and then even as a married woman, watch her deal with the woes of having to help a man run a business for 23 years successfully, making great
mm,
money,
mm-hmm.
but he's not so faithful, or other things are happening. Um, and just having to watch her trauma, watch my sisters, um,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm the youngest of eight. I have four sisters.
Wow.
Watching them, watching my aunts, I grew a heart um, and a passion to see women heal. In fact, I began to write books because I'm a writer as well,
Mm,
and I began to write books called "Heal Thy Woman." It's a play on the word "healthy woman." And
mm-hmm.
I began to write books like love letters from God to women and what I believe God sees in them and what he wants them for them. And as I was doing that, Agatha,
Mm,
God began to challenge me. He said, "But you're male, and I want you to take it beyond books, and I want you to really find ways that you can platform women." And I say this humbly,
right.
platform women, stand next to them, show
Okay.
camaraderie, show that you are with
Yeah.
them, help with the resources, push them forward, push those
Mm-hmm.
agendas forward, because I do know it's not many men doing that. And
No.
I know that it's not much support. And I know that in I call it the good old boys club. I know that in the good old boys club, it's almost what can I get for myself and not worry about other leaders that don't look like me, even women
Absolutely.
leaders.
That's it there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And so I ask those questions just to get your experience, but also
Mm-hmm.
hopefully to begin to create a narrative and a discussion around what are some of the things that we can do to support women leaders like yourself that are out there really healing other women.
Mm-hmm.
And so I asked
Mm-hmm.
you that what are some of the practical things and spiritual things from your perspective that can be done? What can we do as male leaders to stand with you?
Um, so what you're doing, for example, it is the exactly what we need. We need
Okay.
to see more male figures stand up
Hmm.
and represent us ladies, us female
Hmm.
leaders. And um, this would shape the narrative
Hmm.
of what is expected. Because I think there's not much expected from us female as
Right.
leaders, as it has always been in traditional ways. You remember in olden days,
Hmm.
the male is the head of the family,
Yes.
goes to work, comes home and bring. Now times have changed a bit, and we
Hmm.
must have to move with time a little bit. I'm a very traditional woman,
Hmm.
and I believe in complementing masculinity, not to compete with it.
Yes.
So I would like to see more male, spiritual, faith-based male leaders stand up
Hmm.
and speak on our behalf.
Yes. Yes.
Because the more they see the representation from the other sex, it then elevates and gives us the power that we need. Not power per se, because I don't like using that word power,
Sure.
but it gives us the stage that we belong.
Yes. Yes. I understand. And that's one of the reasons why I believe God is called me to create this global leaders platform, right? Because I know that there are people out there, and not even just women, right? Leaders, but just people in general that are not like me, They're not a
Mm.
African American male
Yeah.
leader who has access to, these different types of resources. There are people out there around the world who do not look like me, but they have a
Mm-hmm.
voice, right?
Mm.
They have a
Say it
calling.
loud, my brother.
Yes, they have a calling. And so I am adamant about this
Mm-hmm.
platform and making sure that it is what God showed me in prayer, that it is a place
Right.
for people to step up on, even women leaders, fully, to where you don't have to, how can I put it? To where you don't have to step up on a platform halfway. It's
Mm-hmm.
some
Yeah.
places
You
where
step
you
on the
can't.
platform and you own it. You belong
Yes,
there.
yes, you can be
Yeah.
the fullness of who you are,
Mm-hmm.
unapologetically, um, and
Absolutely.
in a safe space, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's why I'm adamant about that. What are some of the things that you're doing um, as a leader that's helping women step into the fullness of who they are?
Right. So, I would just digress a little bit and just
Okay.
talk about my personal journey and how it has shaped me to be the woman I am today.
Yes.
It has been messy and complicated, but
Mm-hmm.
one thing I know is that um I know pain and I know betrayal and I know grief, loss, trauma, you name it.
Mm-hmm.
Miscarriages, the list goes on and on and
Wow.
on.
Wow.
And so that loneliness in me, I have been able to unlock the key to get out of that situation I was in. And so I have tools that I use to help these women because when I talk about healing and mental health and faith and resilience, I'm talking from lived experience.
Right.
I've gone through it. I've walked in the shoes I've walked in. I know how much it burns me.
Yes.
So when I talk about these things, I know exactly what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So I hold women's hand, not just through theory, because I've been to university. I have qualifications in applied social science and psychology and the rest. But it's not just through theory,
Yes.
but through practical and lived experience. So I have a platform that I help women. So these women come to me with their problems, their struggles, and offload, tell me what they're going through without any judgment. I'm there to listen. No judgment there.
Mm-hmm.
No stigma is attached to anything. Just pure talk,
Yes.
authentic conversation. And it takes courage for people to open their hearts, especially when it has been shattered into pieces. It
Yes.
takes courage for someone to open up to you and say, this is what I'm going through. So that's what I do. But back home, I basically do a weekly program where I talk about mental health and faith and love and care and all the rest of it,
Yes.
and guide these women, tell them, not just women, because this is a radio show, so
Of
it
course.
goes worldwide, go
Of course.
fan wide, but basically just for people to understand this is me giving back to society because I have been lucky to come through my experience.
Yes.
But how about the woman or the person sitting in a corner crying themselves to sleep, going to bed at night, not being able to sleep, not knowing whether they're going or they're coming? They pray until their knees are buckled, but they still cannot see the way forward, and they're
Mm-hmm.
beginning to lose hope.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the people I reach out to. Those are the people I reach to their heart because I want them to know that they are not alone.
Yes. Yes. I agree. It's powerful work that you're doing, to be honest with you, and it's necessary in these
It
times to
is.
really speak to the heart of man, but also the mind of man,
Yeah.
in order to really help people break through the traumas and the tragedies that they've faced, and then to
Mm-hmm.
find hope and a faith that really is um, not just tangible, but is relevant, right? Um,
Absolutely.
talk to us. You talk a lot about, and as I was reading up on you, I saw that you were talking about sustainable change. You talk about this.
Right.
What does that mean practically and even spiritually?
Right. So when we talk about sustainable change, it is an intentional, a very slow intentional process,
Hmm.
right? It is not flashy,
Yes.
it is silent.
Hmm.
you know, um, this is where we go through the test of time when we talk about sustainable healing or
Hmm.
sustainable change. For me, it means opportunity, giving women the equipment for them to thrive,
Hmm.
because it's not just about telling them how to change their lives, but it's all about giving them the tools that will take them longer than just the present moment.
Right.
And so for me, I got healing through so many different ways: writing, sewing, hairdressing.
Yes.
And these are all skills that I picked up from my own brokenness. I
Yes.
was never taught how to sew, but I can sew. I mean, I didn't sew this dress, but if I'd wanted to,
Wow.
I could do it. So
Wow.
these are all things I have managed to do on my own. And this is where I want to empower these women. It's not just about workshop or inspiration, nothing like that. It's about transformation from
Hmm.
the inside out. You
Wow.
know, many women were told, to focus on fixing the external problem, financial barriers, lack of education, access
Hmm.
to opportunity, things like that. And these are all important. Don't get me wrong, they're all important, very, very important. But also, it is very important to understand the internal mechanism of the person, what
Yes.
actually sustained them and what would make that sustain the change happen.
Yes.
A woman who knows her worth will build boundaries.
Mm.
She would walk
I
away
agree.
from toxic environments.
Hmm.
She will dream differently. She would not wait for someone to tell her she's good enough.
Right.
She would teach her children to do the same thing. Remember, our children copy from us. It's not what you say to them. You can't say, John, don't do this, but John see you doing it every single day. It doesn't
Right.
work like that.
Right.
But a woman who is still under shame or is unhealed will keep repeating the same cycle, even if she has been handed the best tools in the world. So for
Hmm.
me, sustainable change starts with helping women rewrite the stories they tell themselves.
Wow.
From I'm not good enough to I am already worthy, from I'm hiding my pain to my scars are here and I'm going to own it.
Hmm.
This is what sustainable change look like for me. And
Hmm.
once this shift happens, everything else will follow. Everything else will follow.
Yeah.
Sustainable change happens when a woman is given the space to heal, to grow, and to own their power. Not for the moment, not just for that particular moment, but that will take them on for life.
Hmm. Yeah. Things that will keep them going, things that will keep them
Yeah,
rooted and grounded in their peace
yeah,
and their wholeness. I love that. I love that.
yeah.
Um, we're talking a lot about healing. How
Mm-hmm,
imperative is it for a leader, not just a woman leader, but anyone? Like, how
mm-hmm.
imperative is it for us to heal as leaders right here, right now?
Right. So this is a very good one, and I like this question that you just asked because it's not about charisma,
Right.
right?
Right.
It is not about strategy
Hmm.
or things that we think a leader should carry.
Hmm.
It's about how you attract another human being, another fellow human being, how you
Mm.
deal with them in their weakest times when they're vulnerable,
Yeah.
you know. And I've seen it, I've lived it. And that's why I believe healing is the foundation of authentic leadership.
Wow. Yeah. I
When you lead from from a wounded place, let's just say you heal, you lead from a wounded place,
Mm-hmm.
everything becomes personal, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You
Wow.
cannot take feedback. You
Wow.
compete instead of you collaborate, you know. You lead with ego
Mm-hmm.
instead of empathy. The moment someone says something to you, your ego is up, and it
Yeah.
shouldn't be that way,
Yes.
you know. But when you've done the hard work of healing, you lead from a place of wholeness,
Yeah.
not perfection, but groundedness.
Mm.
Yeah, groundedness, that's the word. I
Yeah.
was looking for the right word.
Yeah. That's the word.
Groundedness,
That's
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it is, it's giving yourself the ability to pause, to reflect, to choose kindness, even when you feel triggered. It's about allowing yourself to find a safe space for others. But most importantly, I think it's about giving that emotional capacity to leave a legacy,
Right.
one that would outlive you. Even when you're gone, your legacy will still be there, because leadership is not about how many followers you have, because I see that online quite a lot. You know, it's not about how many people comment on your post.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't raise leaders if you yourself haven't healed in the first
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
So the legacy is built in that spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
It's built in the quiet moments, how we treat others when no one is watching,
Mm-hmm.
how you respond when things fall apart,
Mm.
how you carry people's story with care. I
Mm-hmm.
talk to a lot of people. Am I going to be talking to other people about that person that have told me about their
Right.
vulnerable states? That's not leadership.
Mm.
That kind of leadership is rare. I will tell you that for sure.
Yeah.
But
It is.
it is. I've seen and I've spoken and I know what I'm talking about. It is rare, you know.
It is.
But
I think
it's
toxic leadership is more prevalent than anything. Yeah. Yeah.
but it is what the world desperately needs, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, healing is essential. It is
Mm-hmm.
essential, not as a trend, but as a lifestyle,
Yeah.
because you know we are not just building programs; we're building people,
Mm-hmm.
and heal people build heal community.
I love that. Wow. I love that. That's big because I tell people all the time, I'm not exempt. I'm always looking for new ways in the presence of God to heal.
Mm-hmm.
Show me, God. Where is it? Even this morning, before I hopped on in my prayer time and meditation, I'm like, God, okay, that area right there, I want you to heal me right there. Because sometimes you
Yeah,
could be leading and not even know that you're wounded in a certain area, or
absolutely.
or you've just learned how to function at a high level that
Mm-hmm.
you haven't even. I like what you said. You haven't even given yourself the opportunity to
Mm-hmm.
sit and to ponder and to think and to reflect and allow Holy
Mm-hmm.
Spirit to bring up those matters that are good and those things that are
Mm-hmm.
festering that he needs to put his presence on, you know?
Absolutely.
I love how
Absolutely.
you placed that and you spoke about that. And even when you just said, I'm taking my time not to go ahead yet because everything you just said is, I'm really marinating on it and I'm thinking it through. I love how you said heal leaders build healed communities.
Absolutely.
Because the truth is, one by one, if we could help one person heal, right? If we could heal first and then help one
Yeah.
person heal by the example that we set,
Mm-hmm.
eventually you'll look up and the whole community, the entire
Yeah.
system will be revived and healed and whole.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
It's just that where someone might think they're healed, and in from the surface they look everything is okay, but deep down, this they're still struggling with so many demons in there.
Yes.
And how can you pour into someone if you yourself, let me say, your cup is empty? You
Yeah.
cannot.
Yeah.
You cannot. It leaves you in a state of delusion because you're then thinking, I know what I'm doing, but deep down, you're confused.
Mm. Wow. Wow.
So we need to heal.
Mm-hmm.
It's essential for leaders to heal and own their legacy,
Mm-hmm.
because as a leader, you want to leave a legacy where people would remember you for all the good you've done, not for
Right.
something. I'm not sure. He was kind of, she was that kind. We don't want that. It
Mm-hmm.
has to be in or out. Was this leader the leader you would have looked up to?
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no? The answer has to be simple. We
Mm-hmm.
don't need to have gray areas in that.
Yeah,
Because when we have gray areas, that when we become confused,
I
we
agree.
start asking questions that we should have asked in the beginning.
Mm. Wow. Here is where I like to always tell people when you do that type of work, that type of soul work and spiritual work, and it's every day, it's never ending, by the way.
No.
It's every day. When you
Yeah.
do that type of soul and spiritual work and washing, what God has placed in you to desire, you automatically receive it. It comes to you
Mm-hmm.
because then your
Mm-hmm.
cup is ready to receive
Yeah.
the outpouring. I say this, and this is going to sound very spiritual, and it is, but
Mm-hmm.
then your cup is ready to receive the outpouring of the Spirit of God and all there is to His Spirit. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Last question: what would you say to those women leaders who are trying to be an example in their homeland? They're trying to be an example in their homes. They're trying to be an example with their teams or what have you. But they are facing a time of stagnation, um, and they don't know why, what's happening, what's hindering them, what's blocking them from rising even further and allowing their homeland or their homes to be transformed and transcended the way that they see it. What would you say
Right.
to those women?
I think first and foremost, I'll say to them that they need to be their true, authentic self,
Yeah.
because authenticity goes a long way.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not true to yourself, it doesn't matter what you do, you would never get a good result because everything would be washed over by the pretense.
Yeah.
So be your true, authentic self. That's the first step. And also pray. Like when I was going through my turbulent times, I prayed until my knees buckled.
Mm-hmm.
I prayed for direction. Even when I wake up in the morning, I couldn't find anything on the table to eat. But I have that hope in me that things would change one day.
Mm-hmm.
And that change is what they need to have in mind. That faith is what they need to have in mind and believe in themselves that it would happen.
Mm-hmm.
That is just a short answer there:
Yeah.
authenticity and faith.
Yeah. I love it. I said that was going to be my last question, but something just came to me, and I wanted to ask this because, and I'm always interested when I'm in the midst of other leaders, their thoughts, especially kingdom leaders. We'll end on this note. Who is God to you?
Oh man, God, He is my Savior. He is my all in all. He is the first, the last, the beginning, and the end. He is my everything.
Yeah.
I don't know where I would have been without God.
Yeah.
He says, John 3:16 says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son,
Hmm.
that whosoever believes in him would not perish, but have everlasting life."
Right.
Come on, what else do I need?
Right.
That scripture there tells me that he is the one and only God.
Yeah.
He is the only person. He has turned water into wine.
Yeah.
He has made the blind see. He has made the lame walk. I don't
Right.
need any more proof to know
Right.
that the God that I serve is a living God.
Yeah. Wow. He's a living God. He's a living God. And
He
he's
is my
living.
creator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's living right here, even in this conversation. I love that. Agatha, how can people connect with you? What's coming up next for you, and how can they stay connected to what you're doing?
So I have my platform on social media, and it's on Facebook. It is Mrs. Agatha G. Georgestone.
Mhm.
On Instagram is the no brave. Sorry, I'm getting
Mhm.
this wrong now.
It's
I'm
okay.
starting to think because there are too many names on all these platforms.
Right.
The underscore brave underscore horizon, and I'm on TikTok. Not too active on there, but I'm on there.
Okay.
And it is Agatha Georgestone, and I am on LinkedIn as well
Okay.
as Agatha George. But then I'm only so now I'm building some. It's a shame that I don't want to talk about things that is on the pipeline at the moment
Okay.
because it
Okay.
has not been confirmed yet. So I
Okay.
wish we'd had this conversation next week. I would have been able to give everything to you on a
Yes, no
platter.
problem.
But now I'm halfway there, so I would not be able to give you like. But if people follow me, then they
Yeah.
can see exactly because it will be out there, and I'll be sharing what I'm doing.
Okay.
But yeah, I I'm a columnist as well, and I write for a newspaper.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm doing my bit, and it's about mental health. It's
I
just
love that.
pouring into people, because I know that dark place, and I don't want any other person to suffer on their own. I want to be the hand that I hoped I had when I was going through my
Hmm.
darkest moment. So, if I have been able to rise up, I want to give that back to others.
I love that. I love that, guys. Well, make sure that you are connecting with Agatha Georgestone. As you heard, there are some things coming up, and I get it. When you're in the midst of building things, certain things are time sensitive and all of that. You cannot release it
Yeah.
before it's time. But she's going to be releasing that when it is time, and you do not want to miss it. Um, Make sure that you connect with
Can
this
I just say also
protocol.
that I am an author, and
Yeah.
I have my book out there, The Brave um Rising from Trauma to Triumph.
Yes.
Um yes, it is out there. It is on Amazon, and it is on my platform as well,
Okay.
thebravehorizon.com. So if you check it out and have a copy, it is full of tools, healing tools that would
Yeah.
help you, guide you. My story, I want my story to be someone else's survival kit.
Yes.
When you read it, you have hope. I've had so many testimonials of people who said, "Your book saved me. I thought I
Mm,
was alone in this journey."
wow.
So get your copy, and
Yeah, get it, guys, get it. That's information that I believe is going to be necessary for your next level. Make sure you grab that
oh
book.
yeah.
Agatha, thank you so much for your time. I want you to hang tight really quick while I wrap things up. But this has been truly amazing. Um, Listen, I don't know what to say to some of the nuggets and the spiritual nuggets and the practical nuggets that were dropped today in our conversation. I'm gonna actually go back and re-listen to this because there were some things that even struck me, even in my journey of leadership. You want to make sure that you're in a place, in a position where you're not becoming the stumbling block for others, and where you're not being hindered by other stumbling blocks. You want to be healed and whole, and you want to make sure that you're hitting the mark. Not going to be perfect. No, no one is. But we know the one who is perfect. And as long as we submit ourselves to Him over and over and over and over again every day, it's an everyday thing. As long as we do that, you can best and rest assured that you will be not just successful, because success is subjective, but you'll be impactful. You'll be influential in the way that God has called you to be. But most of all, you will have the strongest relationship with the Father. And I am super ecstatic that Agatha came to remind us about all of these things. I truly enjoyed this conversation. Agatha, again, thank you for reminding us that empowerment is not just about helping women or people survive, it's about helping them build, heal, and lead. Your voice, Agatha, carries the heart of legacy and the fire of generational transformation. Until next time, guys, make sure you grab your tickets, only $29 for a 2-day, all day pass to our upcoming virtual summit. It is going to be September 20th through the 21st. You want to go right now to bit.ly/ TGLR virtual summit now. Grab your tickets before we're all sold out. We do have a limited amount of people that we're going to allow in. And so I want you to make sure you grab those today. Until next time, we'll see you soon.